Hello, everybody. We just had another scandal happen today with Justin Trudeau. Another person has left the Liberal Party's cabinet. Jane Philpott is her name. She was part of the Treasury Board, I think. The bombshell is happening right now. I'm going to actually show you it right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's coming from my TV. Anyways, I believe that there's going to be more happening here in the next little while because Justin Trudeau, the whole party has fallen apart. That's 4 now in the last, I think, month or two there that has fallen apart like that. It's unheard of to have 4 of them. I believe that there's going to be a vote of non-confidence called here, and when that does, the party's going to fall, and we're going to go into a snap election, and they're going to have to revote them in. Right now, I think the latest polls have the Conservatives ahead, but not by much right now. I haven't seen anything later. I particularly have caught between a rock and a hard place there because I'm a supporter of the People's Party of Canada, and I always will be. But it's a new party that's formed. There's a couple of MPs, and not a lot of MPs yet though, and we have to find a good MP. I don't want to just pick one really, really quick and it not be the right one. And I want it to be able to follow the platform and think like Maxime Bernier and not be scared to take on CBC, not be scared to go on the rebel media, and not be scared to call out the CTV and the news people right in front of everybody. That would be the most ideal thing to do there, because the CBC, CTV, they don't like people who are conservatives, and it's going to be a huge attack because they're not going to be able to get their money. When Maxime Bernier gets into power, he's gradually going to phase out CBC to the point where it's going to run like PBS, where it's going to be funded by the people who phone in and make donations. And this scares the bejesus out of the CBC, which is like the British broadcaster. Look what they did to Tommy Robinson, the BBC. Well, the CBC does the exact same thing. They pull the same kind of tricks. In fact, if I didn't know any better, I'd say the BBC and the CBC kind of work together. They're behind the scenes. And I bet you if somebody dug deep enough, they'd see that some probably work for each other. So it's pretty bad. Some people don't like the name People's Party of Canada. They say it sounds so communist, but I don't understand what they mean by that. This is a party by the people that enjoy it. This is what people means uniting. It means we're going to unite all the people. Unite. We got people coming from the NDP, from the Liberals, from the Conservatives over to this. Maxime Bernier's platform can't get any more. You can't get any more conservative than Maxime Bernier's platform. I've never seen a platform that's so conservative. I mean, he wants to get rid of the corporate tax. That's a tax that you have on all your savings and things, so that you wouldn't have to pay that tax on your RSPs or anything, because that's a corporate tax. He wants to get rid of. He wants to open up the market to freeze to spending, as long as it follows the Canadian rules on the health and everything. He wants the free market to open. He wants to be able to sell alcohol from one end of BC to the other, from one end of Canada to the other end of Canada on an open market, kind of like a free trade right across the provinces. What's not conservative about that? He wants to get the pipelines going, and if they don't, he wants to use the Constitution to do it, and he's not afraid to do that. He's also not afraid to go into Quebec, which is his home province, and tell them in French that, yes, we need the pipelines there. the problem is, the people in Quebec don't seem to understand that they need oil to run all their machines, even their so-called green, their so-called green stuff that they have, that they claim that they have there. A lot of that still needs oil. I mean, these guys are walking around. They got cell phones. They got computers. The vehicles that they drive, the tires and the tires on them, even on the bicycles, the tires, they're all made with oil in it. We need it. Pipelines are the safest way. I don't know about you, but I've seen a train derail before, and lots of stuff falls out the back of that, and it's just tons of it, and people got to clean it up. I don't want to see that. So the pipelines is the easiest way for things to travel. From east to west, north to east, or from east to west, I wanted the Keystone in, because I think that we would get really good deals if we were able to have our oil go to Texas and then come back again. We wouldn't have to go to send it over to dirty oil place in Saudi Arabia. I mean, look what's happening over there right now in some places. People are on the streets fighting. They're literally fighting because they're starving to death. Venezuela. The people are on the streets because they claim that they're fighting and on the streets there because people are starving to death. They went from a non-socialist government to a socialist government, and look what happens when you have a socialist government in power. It's starting to happen in Canada. We're on the brink of a recession here right now, and I couldn't believe when I heard that. CBC was actually shocked about that. They were shocked. Well, I'm sorry, but when you spend that much money that Trudeau has spent, especially on CBC and CTV, on the news things there, and all the money that he's put into all these non-important things that he's done, we are going to go on that. You have to be able to get. I'm not much of an accountant or into economics or anything, but I do pretty sure when you put money out there, you got to get as much to come back in, or more to come back in there to balance the budget. We need to spend money wisely. We need to spend it on cut taxes and give money to the military. They need more money. The homeless in Canada, we need to get them off the streets. And the only way we can do that is we got to spend. But we can take the money that we were from the CBC, the $10 billion that they were giving the CBC, and put it towards that. It could be more than that too, but all I'm saying is $10 billion is what I think it is. I don't know how much Justin's going to lose in support with the SNC level and thing that's happening, but I do know that when 4 people within a couple of months, leave his cabinet position, that's bad. The only problem is the two women, they left their positions, but they didn't leave the party, and that shows to me that they're really not. That shows to me that they seem to support the Liberals, but they don't support what Justin's doing. I thought for sure Justin would have went down a long time ago, though, because, I mean, think about it. He has 5 ethics violations on him, and he still didn't go down on that. He was groped by a long time ago. He groped a woman, and he admitted it by saying on a writer, "I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were a reporter." And so that means he admitted it. He got away with that. Of course, CBC helped with, and CTV, they all helped on things like that. They backed him up and everything. But now on this thing, the news media, the left-wing news, the CTV and the Chrétien Broadcast Corporation, CBC, are starting to turn, I think, on this, from what I understand. So, especially Robert Fife. I mean, holy cow, this guy's going on a mission right now on there. I don't usually listen to them much because I don't like the way that they keep defending Trudeau when the stuff is wrong. I hope the government can go down, fall there, but we need to work fast in my new party to get a new leader. But we don't want it. We have to screen them to make sure that they're going to hopefully follow the platform. There, we don't want people that are going to follow the platform and start calling people white, start acting like start saying really, really racist stuff. So, anyways, this is Roy signing off. One of Roy's rants. Please, if you give me feedback on this. I'm trying to get better and better as I do this every day. I think I'm much better today than I was a few days ago on my short one. Anyways, this is Roy's Rants signing off.